All right, let's get started. Hi, everybody. I'm sure there's probably one or two of you at least that are here to practice with me this morning. So I'm really excited about that. I have never done anything like this before. I've never taken a video of myself and put it out into the world that's like intentional. So I feel a little nervous. So as many of you know that have been practicing with me for a while, you know that this has been an intention of mine to do some videos to make practice more accessible for a range of schedules and just to take maximum advantage of technology and hopefully reach more people. So I have been dragging my feet because I have had this thing in my mind that everything needs to be perfect. I need to make sure that this is right, and I know how to do this, and I need to research that, and kind of realize that that's not really practicing yoga off of the mat. So when we're on the mat, we are practicing, we're getting better each time, and that better looks different for us every day and every breath. Sometimes better is your body is stronger. Sometimes better is that you're just going to be more present, or you're going to be more present. That's actually more important than anything. So, the practice on the mat is meant to take us off of the mat and be more effective in life, to live with more intention, and to live a creative life that we find we're constantly evolving and growing from. So in that spirit, I'm making videos. So I'm using this as kind of like my practice off of the mat is creating videos of yoga on the mat. So everything's not perfect. If you could see my setup, and maybe I'll take a picture and send it to you, I literally have my screen tied to a kitchen chair with a ribbon, and it's propped up on cutting boards. It's very Jimmy rigged, and it works for now. There's no mic, and I've never done this before, so I don't know how my cueing's gonna go in this kind of format. It's all new to me. So I'm excited for the challenge, and I'm really excited to do something new. I've learned in my life that that's kind of something that I thrive on, is pushing myself outside of my comfort zone and doing things that kind of scare me. And through that, I grow. And so I'm sharing all that little story and all this talk with you, so that maybe that will inspire you in your life too, to maybe do the same. So with all that said, please be kind to me and my producing skills. They're not the best, but I'm trying, and that's what matters. Just like that's all that matters for you in your practice today on your mat, is that you're trying. You're here, you are present, and that's it. That's all that matters. Rolling out your mat and stepping on it is a win. That's it. Once you do that, you've won the game of yoga, of being present in your body and moving. So today's practice is Hatha yoga. I learned this practice in my teacher training. I teach it all the time because I love it. It's an incredibly foundational practice. I teach it as a beginner's class, and we break down every posture, and we learn how to move through each shape with grace and poise. I teach this as an advanced class where we take each asana to extremes and try to deepen and develop our asana practice, which the goal of being is to find a trap for the mind, so that as our body and our cells evolve and get stronger, more flexible, and with more endurance, our mind does the same thing. So you can do this practice as a beginner, you can do as an intermediate, and you can do it as an advanced. So the postures can be modified, and I'll show you modifications, but honestly, I won't show you every modification for every posture, because we could be here modifying warrior one for an hour. So if something's not working for your body that I'm showing you, find a way that maintains maybe the integrity of the shape, or maybe it's just coming to your breath and returning to your breath, recentering, and stopping the chatter of judgment that's going on. If you're familiar with this class, then I encourage you to push yourself to your limit and maybe challenge yourself with some intensifications, which I'll also show a little bit of. I think of today's class as kind of a way to clear out the cobwebs so to speak. So as you're practicing today, maybe visualize yourself moving all those cobwebs out of the corners and clearing out, getting out your broom and sweeping the floors and getting all the dust out and shaking out the rugs and just cleaning out your internal energy, your mind, your body, so that you can start fresh and new, and it will feel good. So hopefully it will feel good. We're gonna start with the pranayama, nadi shodhana. It's alternate nostril breathing, which will clear out our channels of energy and give us more balance and focus for the practice. A few things to note throughout practice: we'll be using 2 mudras. We'll be using Mushti Mudra, which is taking your thumb, tucking it into your palm and making a fist over it. So it looks like this. This is Mushti Mudra. It's a mudra for power. Use it a lot because squeezing your thumb and making that fist, it does feel powerful. Think of yourself in that warrior and how strong you feel. So that's one mudra. The other mudra we'll use is Gyani Mudra. I just learned this is not Gyani Mudra. This is here. See how tight the finger is? So this symbolizes basically humility. So your finger is a symbol for your ego, right? Me, it's all about me. No, it's not. It's not all about you. Your thumb is the universe, and you're wanting to hold that ego down with truth. So those are the 2 mudras we'll use. Feel free to use them, even if I don't cue you to, but just know that's where we're at with it. So I don't know how long it's going to take to get through this practice. I'll try not to ramble, and hopefully you can hear me. There's no music to this class, so that's on purpose. If it shuts off, something happens, internet goes bye-bye, I'm actually recording this video as well, so you can just pop back in and view it later. And please email me with questions or comments or feedback. This is just the first of many videos, and your feedback is most appreciated. So let's get started. Come to your mat. Come to a comfortable spot where you just feel good, and we'll ground ourselves in this space for a few breaths. So close your eyes. Relax your face. Relax your shoulders. Release your jaw and your forehead. Feel your bones in the ground as you let your belly button fall down back towards your tailbone. Long spine. Square your chin to the ground. And stay here for 3 breaths. With each inhale, feel the breath in the lengths of the spine. And each exhale just allows you to release everything that came before the class and that's waiting for you after. Give yourself the gift of being present in your body, your mind, and your breath. One more round of breath here. Bring my hands down my heart. I thank you all for joining me today. Namaste. So we'll begin with Nadi Shodhana. Nadi Shodhana starts with a peace sign, and then you tighten it up. That's Vishnu Mudra. You're going to take your left hand and put it on your left knee, palm up, and bring your right fingers to the space between your eyebrows or your third eye. So here, this. You're going to toggle your nostrils with your ring and your thumb, your ring finger and your thumb, and then you're going to alternate the breath. So maybe we'll sit from the side so you can see. So you're going to close your left nostril and inhale through your right nostril for a count of 6. Hold the breath for a count of 6. Close the right nostril, open the left, and exhale from the left nostril for a count of 6. Hold the breath here for 6. And inhale through the left nostril for 6. Close the left nostril, open the right. Continue to hold the breath for 6. Exhale from the right nostril for 6. Inhale from the right nostril for 6. Hold the breath for 6 as you close the right nostril and open the left. Exhale through the left nostril for 6. And hold the breath. Inhale for 6. Close the left nostril, open the right. Exhale for 6 from the right. So that was 2 rounds. You finish each round with an exhale from the right. Continue in this way, and we'll be here for about another 2 minutes. Move through one more round and finish with an exhale through the right nostril. When you finish, bring your wrists to your knees, palms down, and just sit with your breath for a few moments. Let's get started. We're going to start at the front of the mat in Tadasana. So in Tadasana, your toes are together, your heels are slightly separate, arms are by your side. Here. Palms face forward. Root down into all four corners of both feet, really strong through your quadriceps. Draw your belly in. Take an inhale, pull your shoulders up towards your ears. As you exhale, let your shoulders fall down and back, open your chest. Square your chin to the ground, and relax your face, close your eyes. And feel that gentle sway of your body in space. Don't fight it. Just be present with it. Open your eyes and take a nice deep inhale. Reach your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers and rotate your palms up towards the sky. Straighten your arms, pull your arms back behind your ears. Take a nice deep inhale and come up into the balls of your feet. So step back a little bit so you can see here that you're just challenging the balance. Squeeze the ankles together, draw the belly in, press the palms to the sky, straighten the arms. So you might feel, as you feel a little unsteady maybe with your balance, that the ankles will have a tendency to kind of want to bow apart and you'll catch yourself, but resist the urge to let the ankles bow apart. To catch your balance, do the opposite. Squeeze the ankles together to bring more power to your body. Let's be here for one more round of breath. Nice deep inhale, nice and long. One more inhale. And exhale, slowly lowers the heels. Keep your arms up. I'm going to step back a little bit. Maybe that will help. So make Mushi Mudra in your right hand. Grab for your right wrist. That's a fist around your thumb. Grab the right wrist. Take a nice deep inhale, pulling on the wrist. Lengthen the body. And as you exhale, side bend over to the left. Come into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So we're building it into a side bend. In the shape, we want to press the hips over to the side of the room. As we pull on the side of the body, opening up through the right side of the body. Take a nice deep inhale, pull on the wrist and lengthen. Exhale, go a little bit deeper maybe in your bend. You're going to want to pull your right shoulder forward so that you keep your shoulders in line with the hip. So you'll have a tendency maybe to fold to get the side bend. Keep the shoulders in line with the hip to get the bend in the side of the body. Let's be here for 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, lift your torso. Try to keep the shoulders in line with the hips as you lift, and then switch your grip. So grab for the left wrist, take a nice deep inhale to lengthen your body, and then bend over to the right. So pressing the hip over to the side, pulling that right shoulder forward, left shoulder pulls back. Shoulders stay in line with the hips. Squeezing the arms behind the ears, gaze straight forward, not up. Two more rounds of breath here. Next inhale lifts the torso. And then on your exhale, bring your hands to your lower back and step your right foot out so your feet are as wide as your hip. We're gonna prep for a back bend. You can have your palms down, fingers touching the lowest rib, or you can have your hands and fists at the lower back. You need the feet to be as wide as the hip. Soften the knee. Pull the elbows and the shoulders back, broadening and open your chest. Take a nice deep inhale to lengthen your spine. And on your exhale, come into your back bend. In your back bend, you're wanting to press your hips forward and reach your spine nice and long to the back of the room. So we don't want to compress the lower back, so continue to press on the lower back. Pushing the hips forward, continue to open through the chest. Keep breathing. Next, inhale, lifts the torso. Exhale, step your feet back together. Arms by your side. Take an inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Palms come together. As you exhale, hands come through heart center and you come into Uttanasana, forward fold. Soften in your forward fold here, maybe grabbing for the ankles or the calves and gently guiding the torso to the thigh. Relax the top of the head to the ground. Shake your head, yes and no. And stay soft through your face. Let's find Padahastasana, hands to feet. So sit your hips down and put your torso on your thighs. See, that will help you get a better bind for the shape. And come up onto the toes, lifting your heels. Put your heels in the palms of your hands. Fingers point towards your toe. Now stand on your heels. With your hips down, knees bent, wrap the forearms around the calves. On the exhale, straighten the legs, lift the hips. Soften the torso down towards the thighs. Draw your belly in here, create some space. And then pull on the heels, bringing the torso closer to the thighs as you melt the face into the shins. Modification here would be to grab for the outside of the heels. And you could also grab for the calves. What we're working towards is just a really nice deep forward bend in the spine. Relax your face. Feels good. One more round of breath. And now release. Come into a forward fold. We're going to set up for a revolve forward fold, Parivrtta Uttanasana. So first come into a half lift. So your half lift, you want your spine to be parallel to the ground. Squeeze the buttock, tilt the tailbone up, and draw your belly in. Pull your shoulders back along the spine. You want to feel really strong through your lower back and your core. Now a soft bend into your left knee. Left fingertips come down as your right arm reaches out and up. Come into the twist. As soon as you do that, you're going to feel your right hip shifts back. Pull your right hip forward, square your hips. You can put the fingertips to the ground if you'd like. Draw your belly in and really root through the arches of both feet. So if you feel unsteady, notice if your left foot's kind of hovering off the ground. Yeah? Drive down into that left foot. Reach in opposite directions, so stacking the shoulders. Open the chest and gaze up. We're working towards a spinal twist. Nice deep inhale, long spine. Exhale, come into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Pull the shoulders back, strong core. Bend soft through the right knee now. Right fingertips come down, left arm reaches up. Hug the left hip forward, right hip hugs back. Strong through your core as you drive through the arches. Nice, deep inhale lengthens the spine, and the exhale deepens your twist. Use each breath to find depth in the shape. Nice, deep inhale. Exhale, unwinds and folds. I'm going to step back into my horizontal mat. Take an inhale, lift your torso halfway. On your exhale, plant your palms down as wide as the shoulders. Step back into a high plank. So, high plank, we want to press the space between the shoulders up towards the sky. Keep our hips nice and low, press back through the heels. Really strong through the entire front of the body. Now you can modify planks, come onto the knee. But if you're modifying your plank, make sure that you keep your body as a ramp, not as a table, okay? Stay here. On your exhale, bend your elbows straight back, lower down into chaturanga. So you're pinning the elbows alongside the torso, keeping your chest in line with the hip. Press back through your heels, strong through the legs and the butt. Nice, deep inhale comes into forward facing dog. Chest press forward and up. Long spine, open your chest to the sky. Drive the tops of your feet down into the ground to lift your hips from the ground, softening through your lower spine. Pull the shoulders down and back, open your chest. Nice, deep inhale. Roll the toes over. On the exhale, lower back down into chaturanga. Now come all the way down onto your belly. We're going to come into Bhujangasana, low cobra. So put your palms underneath your shoulders. Squeeze your legs together and drive the tops of your feet into the ground. Resist the urge to let your feet come up. You're wanting to use them as a lever to lift the torso. Take an exhale here. On your inhale, lift the torso, little to no weight in your hands. Pull your elbows and your shoulders back, gaze up. One more inhale. Exhale, lower. Tuck the toes. Press up with power and control into a plank. When you press up, try to keep your hips in line with the shoulders. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Feet are as wide as the hip. Palms are as wide as the shoulder. The shape begins in the hands. All of the knuckles should be driving into the ground, especially the knuckles between the pointer finger and the thumb. Your forearms are nice and strong as your biceps wrap away from your ears and the shoulders hug along the spine. Keep your ears in line with your shoulders and reach your chest to the ground. Drive down through your heels, feel your quadriceps nice and strong, and open up the back of your body. Breathe. On your next inhale, bend your knees and look forward. As you exhale, step or hop into a forward fold. Soften in the fold for a moment. Nice deep inhale comes into mountain. Bring your palms together and cross your thumbs. Exhale here. Inhale, lengthen the body. Exhale, Vajrasana, sit your hips down and back. Weight is in your heels, toes are light. Squeeze your palms together, open your chest to the sky, straighten the arms, try to pull your arms back behind your ears. You can modify here by bringing your hands to your heart. So this shape is called Thunderbolt. So we're creating a Thunderbolt shape with the body. Bottom jutes back, the knees are forward. Open the chest to the sky to bring in the back bend. Nice deep inhale, come into mountain. Here for breath. Inhale for length. Exhale, sit your hips down and back. Now bring your hands to your heart. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, twist to your right, come into revolved chair. So the left elbow comes outside of your right knee. Continue to sit your hips down. Pull the left shoulder forward, right shoulder pulls back. Gaze straight up and keep your hips nice and low. Gaze up for the twist. Release. Nice deep inhale, arms up, hips low. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, twist left. Hips are low. Shoulders stack. Release, nice deep inhale comes into mountain. Ooh, your legs are burning, that feels so good. Exhale, arms by your side. Breathe. I'm gonna put my hair back so that it is not on my face. Are we doing good? You guys with me? Okay. Nice deep inhale. Arms stay as wide as the shoulders. Make Mushti Mudra on both hands. Sit your hips down and back as you fly your arms back and come into Utkatasana, drinking bird. Come up onto the toes, squeezing your heels. Sit your hips down. Work towards bringing your spine parallel to the ground. Gaze forward. Open your chest. Squeeze the knees and the ankles. You don't have to come up onto the toe. You can stay down on the heel. Release. Lower your heels. Nice deep inhale. We're going to come into Garudasana Eagle. As you exhale, bring your right arm, swing your right arm underneath your left. Bring your palms to touch. So for this bind, you can grab for the palms or the wrist, but it can be anywhere in between this, even grabbing for a hug. Now lift your elbows up and stretch your back. Pull your elbows down, sit your hips down. Now drive into your left foot, lift your right leg up and over the left. Use your toes as a kickstand to stack the shoulders over the hip. So notice that you'll maybe tend to fold. We want to stack. Once you have that stack, maybe tighten the toes behind the calf and sit the hips nice and low. Gently release with poise and control. Unwind, reaching your arms up, bending the right knee forward. As you exhale, lower the right leg, come right into the other side. Left arm swings under right, find your bind. Lift the elbows. Pull the elbows down, stretch the back, sit your hips down. Drive into the right leg, left leg is up and over. Remember to find your balance, stacking the shoulders, and then find intensity in the bind, sitting the hips down. Continue to pull your elbows down towards your belly button to stretch the shoulder. Gently release with poise and control, trying to find grace in all of our movement. And exhale. Breathe. We're going to come to Dandimano Janasharasana with a Gomukhasana bind, so standing leg raise. Bring your left arm up and your right arm out and stretch through the fingers. I'll bend your elbows and grab the bind behind you. That looks like this. If it's a little tough getting that bind, you can take and push your elbow over to your torso to create a little bit more space. Yeah, that's right. So root down into the right leg, bend into the left. And then when you're ready, extend the heel towards the mirror. Gently release, bending through the knee and lowering your foot. Release your bind, stretch, and then find the other side. So lengthen, bend and bind. Creates more space in the joint if you lengthen, so you can find more depth. Root into the left leg. If you bend your leg up, get it nice and high. Start with a high thigh. You'll have more height as you extend. Avoid reaching your torso back. Try to keep the shoulders stacked over the hip and really drive through the heel for a strong quad. Release, bend through the knee, lower the foot, and release the bind. Exhale, arms by your side. Breathe here for a moment. And we'll move into standing forehead to knee. So it's basically a standing leg raise, like a forward fold on the floor. We're trying to get the face to the shin. So a long spine as we fold. Now root down into your left leg, bend into your right, strong core as you round down and interlace your fingers underneath your foot. Thigh comes parallel to the ground. Notice you're not standing in your foot. You're just supporting it. You can stay here to challenge the balance, or you extend heel towards mirror. You can stay here, or you can start lowering the forearms alongside the shin, working towards bringing your forehead to your shin. Release. Bend through your knee and lower your foot. Lift the torso. Let's do the other side. Root into your right leg. Bend the left. Round down, strong core. Interlace the fingers under the foot. Stay here. This is a perfect challenge for balance. If you like, you lengthen and find depth. Release. Bend through the knee and lower your foot. Lift the torso. Breathe. Make Mushi Mudra in both hands. Punch your fist down to the ground, really strong upper body. Bend your knees, sit your hips down and back. Root down into your right leg, and now lunge your left leg back. Come into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. In this class, arms are parallel to the ground. You want your left knee, back of the left knee, to drive up to the sky, getting that left leg long and straight. Avoid reaching the chest forward. Stack the torso over the hip. Why? Because we want that weight of the torso to come down through the groin to deepen the stretch in the quad and the flexor on the left side, and the hamstring on the right. Pull the arms back. Visualize touching the pinkies together. Feel how powerful you are? Make sure your feet are about as wide as your hip. If you feel unstable or shaky, notice if maybe your feet are too narrow. Maybe you have one foot behind the other. I know who you are. Bring your hands to your hip. Step your back foot in halfway, so half the width of that warrior shape. And we want the feet to be as wide as the hip. So I'm going to stand here and show you how that looks. So feet are as wide as the hip. We're going in Parsvakonasana, pyramid. You want to distribute the weight evenly and keep your hips square. So take a nice deep inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, come into a half lift. Woo. So as you come into that half lift, make sure you're driving down through your left foot. Hug your left hip forward. Keep all set up and strong. One more inhale here, long spine. And now exhale, come all the way into the fold. Your spine wants to be neutral between the legs, so you're bringing your shoulder to your shin. If you have blocks, you could put blocks down. It could help you. We want the front leg straight, so if you need to, you can come up onto the back toe, which will give you some more depth to get over that front leg. So just melt in the space, soften the top of the head to the ground. In folds, when you draw your belly in, you can create a little bit more space to find depth in the fold. Revolve pyramid. Take an inhale and lift your torso. As you exhale, put your left fingers down, right arm reaches out and up. Padavida Parsvakonasana. So really drive down into that left foot. Notice if your left foot's kind of hovering off the ground. Drive through the left heel. Now hug the left hip forward, keep your hips square. Pull that left shoulder forward, right shoulder pulls back as you open the chest and gaze up. Feel the opening in the outer right hip. Nice deep inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold. Find a little bit more depth in your fold. Drive down through the left foot. Now bring your hands to your hips. Drive into your right foot as you lift your torso with a flat back. Nice and strong in that transition. Step your back foot in, feet together. Breathe. Make Mushi Mudra on both hands. That's a fist around your thumb. Punch your fist down, really strong upper body. Sit your hips down and back. Drive down into your left foot now. Lunge the right leg back. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. And I'm going to show you here the feet. See how my feet are as wide as the hip? If your feet are too narrow, you'll feel uneasy. So just step that back foot out a little wider and you'll have some more stability. Remember, stacking the shoulders over the hips, driving that back knee up towards the sky. And breathing, don't forget to breathe. Change. Hands come to the hips. Hop your back foot in. Again, that pyramid shape. Feet come in halfway of that stance that we had in the warrior, as wide as the hip. Drive down through the right foot. Nice deep inhale, lengthens the spine as you come into a half lift. Hug the right hip forward. Nice deep inhale. Fold. Soften the head to the ground and drive through the right foot. Melt into the shape. Relax your face. Baddha Prajnapanasana, revolve pyramid. Lift the torso halfway on the inhale. Right fingertips come down, left arm reaches up. Drive into the right foot, hug that right hip forward. Nice deep inhale here, long spine. Exhale comes into the fold. Melt in the fold. Find some more depth. And bring your hands to your hips. Drive into your left foot. Lift your torso nice and strong coming out of that transition to build strength. Back foot steps in. Breathe. Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Take a nice deep inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Arms stay as wide as the shoulders, fingertips squeeze together, palms face. Root down into your left leg, nice deep inhale, lengthens the body. As you exhale, hinge at the hip, lift your right leg back and up. So in this shape, you want to pull the right hip down, flex the toes towards the shin, and drive up through the heel. If you open your hip to the side, you'll use the outer hip, which is not as strong as the buttock. Release, lift the torso, keep your arms up. Root into the right leg, nice deep inhale, long spine. Exhale, hinge and lift. Keep the shoulders in line with the ears. Hug that left hip down. Release, nice deep inhale. Exhale. Breathe. Round of breath here. Dhanurasana, standing bow. The trick for this shape is to soften your mind and take your time. If you try to go too fast, you'll fall out. Fun modifications I'll show you. So start with your right arm out to the side, palm up, and then line your arm up with your tailbone. Bend your right knee and grab for the inside of your ankle. You want your knees touching. Reach your left arm up. Stay here, mastering the balance. You can also have the toe on the ground here with the arm back, slowly lifting and lowering to challenge. If you want to go deeper in the shape, you begin to kick and reach. So you maintain an equal and opposite kicking, opening up through that right shoulder and reaching through the left fingertip. Gently release with poise and control, taking time to come out of the shape. And release the foot to the ground. Shake it out. Shake out your left leg. And let's find the other side. So left arm out to the side, line the arm up with the tailbone. Bend your left knee, grab the inside of the ankle. Right arm reaches up. Stay here, or kick and reach. The longer you take getting into the depth of the shape for your body, the more ability you'll have to hold that shape. Gently release with poise and control. Release your foot. Shake out your standing leg. I'm going to take a quarter of a turn to the right side. On your inhale, step your right leg out nice and wide. Bring your arms to touch, or your palms to touch. Feet are parallel or slightly pigeoned. We're coming into a high pyramid here. We're going to root down into the arches. Tuck your tailbone under, draw your belly in, squeeze your buttock. Feel your feet really rooted in the ground. Straighten your arms, pull them back behind your ears, and squeeze your palms together. So feel really rooted and strong and long and powerful. Feel your feet grounded in the earth. Breathe. Prasarita Padottanasana, wide leg fold. Bring your arms out parallel to the ground. Take a nice deep inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, hinge at the hip and fold. With a flat back, strong core. Reach and grab either for the outside edge of the feet, standing on the fingertips. You can grab for the ankles, your calves. You can put your palms on the ground. So in this fold, we're not just working towards that opening at the hip, we're also wanting to get a nice deep forward bend in the spine. So with each inhale, let your weight shift forward. And with each exhale, let your weight shift back and pull your torso closer to your thigh. We're working towards getting the crown of the head on the ground in between our feet so that you get a nice forward bend in the spine, while you open up through the hamstring and groin. And it's just a gentle little rocking motion forward and back, with each inhale lengthening the spine, and with each exhale finding depth in the fold. The little rocking motion is so small, you really don't even see it. You just feel it in your body. Feels good. Keep breathing. Stay there for 2 more breaths. It's kind of tricky to move around so you can see everything. 1 more round of breath. On your next inhale, lift your torso with a flat back, arms parallel to the ground. Come into Utthita Parsvottanasana, extended side angle. So pivot on your right heel, right toes point towards away from you, and your heels are in line. Bend into your right knee, nice and deep, and keep driving down through that left foot. Now take an inhale and reach your right arm forward. As you exhale, put your palm down and reach the left arm up, gaze up. So a modification for the shape would be to put the elbow on the knee, and maintaining that twist in the spine, gazing up. An intensification would be to take a bind, wrapping your arm under the thigh, reaching your left arm behind you, interlacing the fingers or squeezing the fingers together, and opening the chest to the sky. If you haven't been practicing much, don't do the bind. Drive down into the left foot, strong through that inner left thigh. Feel strong in the lower body. Drive down into that right foot, lift your torso, coming back into basically warrior two. And then now parallel the feet, and we'll take that to the other side. Pivot on the left heel, left toes point forward, bend nice and deep into that left knee. Nice deep inhale, reach. Exhale, left palm down, right arm reaches up. Really drive down into that right foot. The inner thigh needs to be really strong. We're working towards keeping the torso off of the thigh, but it's okay if you're not there. You just work towards it. Drive down into that left foot, lift your torso nice and strong in that left thigh. Bring your feet back to parallel. Now bend into your right knee and drive that right foot back in to meet the left, arms come to touch. Turn to the front side of the room or facing forward on your mat, arms by your side. Breathe. We're gonna come into tree, Vrikshasana. It's our final standing shape. So root down into your left foot, bend into your right, grab your shin, and pull your knee in towards your armpit. So try to get it towards the armpit as opposed to just the chest. See, this gets the rotation of the thigh that we want to open for that external rotation. And now grab your foot and put it in your left hip crease, allowing your knee to fall down and back. Bring one hand to your heart or both if your foot will stay. If this standing half lotus isn't working for your body, come into a figure four shape. You can also bring the toes to the inside of the thigh. Notice you're still getting the rotation of the hip that we want with the toe down. You're just modifying so the shape is accessible for you. So if you'd like to go into toe stand, we can go there. Root down into that standing leg, strong core, come into a half lift. From here, come into a forward fold. You may need to bend the knee to bring the hands to the ground. Once in the fold, bend your standing knee, lift your heel, come onto your toe. You're gonna find balance. You want a steady balance here before reaching and grabbing for the bind. That's grabbing the right toe behind you and then reaching. Now that shape is all about being like a rock, a really solid ball. So everything really needs to be engaged. Go ahead and release and we'll come back into a tree shape. So come back into the forward fold. Use control to come out of the shape the same way you went in. Hands to your heart, come into a half lift. Strong buttock all the way back up into tree. It's okay if you're a little wobbly tree. Trees flow in the wind with the breeze. They don't fight it. Go ahead and release. And breathe. Ooh, that standing legs. Oh, funky. Let's shake it up and find the other side. So right foot grounds into the ground. Bend your left knee, grab your shin, and open the hip. And find your tree shape. Whether it's Ardha Padmasana, half lotus, figure four, or here. And then maybe you want to try toe stand. Strong core, half lift. All the way down. Maybe I'll come to the side on this side. Bend the knee. Sit the hip to the heel as you lift the heel, coming up onto your toe. And you can stay here, finding your balance. And then maybe just the bind. You stay here. Great. Go ahead and release. Come back into that fold. Come out the same way we went in, so you build that functional strength. Half lift. Come all the way up into your tree shape, meeting our friends here. And release. Keep your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. Thank your body for its power. grace, and balance in your standing practice. And take a nice deep inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come through the heart. Come into a forward fold. Plant your palms down on the ground, step or hop back into a high plank. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. Stack one toe on top of the other and lower your chest down to the ground. Come into Balasana, Child's Pose. So we want to be active in this shape. So press into your palms and push your hips back onto your heels. When you feel that the hips are nice and heavy in the heel, soften the torso down and continue to reach the fingertips forward, lengthening through the shoulders. Keep your elbows lifted from the ground. So we want nice straight arm. I feel like when I'm down there, you're not going to be able to hear me. So, yeah. Just melt in the shape, basically. So here for a few more breaths. With each inhale, fill the breath in the length of the spine. Feel your spine get nice and long as the breath comes out through the crown of your head. And with each exhale, allow your hips to feel nice and heavy as you melt your chest down into the ground. Two more rounds of breath here. On your next inhale, make your way into all fours. Untuck your toes and come into a high plank. And then lower down through chaturanga all the way onto your belly. Purna Shalabhasana, full locust. So we want to pin the arms underneath the body. So rotate to the left and put your right arm completely under the body, palm down, fingers point towards the knee. And then roll back onto that arm. Rotate onto that arm and put the left arm underneath the body, palm down, fingers point towards the knee. So you're laying on your arms, basically, to pin the torso down. If this is uncomfortable for your body, you don't have to lay completely on the arm. You can be like here. You can also cross the arms along the chest here. This isn't as effective, but it's a good modification where you'll still get the integrity of the shape, which is to build strength in the lower back and buttock. So soften your left leg, engage your right, lift your right leg back and up. Keep your chin in contact with the ground and keep pulling your right hip down to square the hip. You don't want to open to the side. Now you're not using the muscles, you're just using momentum. Keep the hip down, use the buttock to lift. Gently release, soften the right leg, engage the left, and lift your left leg back and up. Keep your face soft. Lower the left leg. And now we're gonna lift both legs. So put the lips and the nose to the ground and inch your fingers down closer to your knees so you're driving your shoulders into the ground. Squeeze your legs together. Take an exhale here. Inhale, lift both legs back and up. Release. Release your arms by your side. Gaze to the right. Put your temple to the ground, nudge your cheek, keep your head in line with your spine. Now we're gonna lift legs and torso in Shalabhasana, full locust. So start with interlacing your fingers behind your back. Squeeze your palms together, open your shoulder. Squeeze your legs together. I like to stack my toes, so stack your left toe on top of your right. Keep your arms off your buttock. Don't take a nap. Gaze up, pull the shoulders back. Nice deep inhale. Lift. Lift. Lift your thighs, lift your chest. Get your thighs off the ground. Gaze up. Punch your knuckles to your heels. Squeeze the buttock. Don't lower down. Just stay there. Hold it. Release. Release your arms and bring your arms out to a T. Mushti Mudra in both hands. Squeeze your legs together. Now right toe stacks on top of left. Take an exhale. Inhale, lift. Lift. Gaze up. Squeeze. Even if you're a hair off the ground, get up. Release. Bring your arms by your side and gaze to the left. Just melt. So we don't stay in this resting posture very long, so use it. We're going to come into Dhanurasana, floor bow. The strength of this shape comes not from hips and shoulders. The strength of the shape comes from your forearm and your hands, your shins, and your feet. Best in this shape to point your toes and feel the strength in your shin. Feel the strength in your forearm and your hand. Shoulders and hips need to be soft so that you find depth in the back bend. And really strong buttock. That's why we just did everything we just did. Bend the knees and reach back and grab for the ankle, outside of the ankle. Keep your knees in line with the hip. Try not to let your hips splay out. You lose the integrity of the shape. Take an exhale. Inhale, kick and pull. Gaze up, it's a back bend. Flex that forearm. Point the toes, strong shin. Squeeze the buttock. Release. Arms by your side, gaze to the right. Breathe. Everybody's favorite words. I know you missed these words. Plank series. Feet as wide as the hip. Tuck the toes, palms under the shoulders. Take an exhale. Inhale, press up nice and strong. Hips are low. Press the space between the shoulders to the sky. Back through the heel, strong quads. Hold it. Side plank, left hand is your base, Vasisthasana. So make sure that that left palm is directly underneath your shoulders. Look, if you have droopy hips, you'll struggle. Drive the hip up. Squeeze the buttock, flex the toes towards your shin. Stack your shoulders. You can modify if you need to. Put your top foot down and drive into the foot to lift the hip. That will give you strength. Keep your head in line with your spine. High plank. Hold here. If you need to modify, come onto the knee. Keep the body a ramp. Don't come into child's pose. Modify, but stay active. right hand is your base, side plank. Drive the hip up. Strong shoulder. High plank. Stick with it. Push, 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 push. Find peace in your mind. Peace in your breath. Close your eyes. Come down onto the forearms. Come into a dolphin plank. Shoulder, elbows directly under the shoulder. Sit the hips low. Press back through your heels. Strong through your shoulder and upper back. You can do it. Push. High plank. You can do it. Power. Power. Breathe. And release. Good job. Come into all fours. Then come into hero's pose with Gomukhasana or cow face pose. I'm going to face you. So from all fours, sit your hips back between your feet. Actually, we're going to go into Supta Vajrasana, not cow face pose. If sitting between your feet like this makes your knees uncomfortable, you can get a block if you have it and sit on the block like that. You can also straighten one leg and just do it one leg at a time. Okay? So from this shape, we're wanting to lower down onto the back, or basically just lower down as far as you want to open up your flexors and quads. So put your palms underneath your shoulders, and then you just bend your elbow as much as you want. Maybe you lower down onto the forearm. If you want to come all the way down onto your back, tuck your tailbone under and slowly start lowering down. You can come completely onto the back. Reach your arms up overhead and bring the palms together. So what we're working towards in this shape is to get the spine in contact with the ground. See, my spine's still a little arched up. So you just continue to tuck the tailbone under and drive the knees down. So you're opening the flexors and the quads. We worked them a lot with all of those standing shapes. And just breathe here. If you're doing one leg, go ahead and switch now. Keep tucking the tailbone under to get the spine working towards the spine to the ground. Relax your face. One more round of breath. And we're going to make our way out. As you come out, you want to keep your hips soft. So use your elbows, palms, wrists, gently make your way up. Come onto all fours. We're going to come into Anahatasana. So stacking your hips directly over your knees. Don't let your hips drift forward in the shape. So then we're going to want to start reaching the palms forward and lowering your chest to the ground, just like you do in child's pose, basically. Try to bring the chin to the ground and gaze forward. If you can't get the chin to the ground, that's fine. Put the forehead to the ground, but keep the hips stacked directly over knees. Now soften through the shoulders. Feel that opening in the shoulders and that deep back bend in the neck. Relax your face. One more round of breath here. And slowly make your way out. Take your time. There's no rush. Go easy. Be gentle. Now cross your ankles, sit your hips back. Bring your legs out in front of you for Passionate Tanasana and tense west facing forward fold. So we want the feet to be as wide as the hip. Move the space out from under you so your bones are going in the ground. Long spine. Draw your belly in. Nice deep inhale, reach your arms up. As you exhale, hinge at the hip and fold. Reach for the feet. Now grab a grip on your feet, and we want to find depth. So take an inhale, pull on your grip wherever it is, whether it's the feet, the ankles, or the calves. Pull and lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, soften the torso down. And maybe you'll find that you can tighten your grip there. Let's find some more depth. Nice deep inhale, pull on the grip, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinges and folds, melting your face into your shins. One more round of breath here. On your inhale, slowly lift the torso. Bring your feet to the ground. Shift your hips forward. Reach your arms out. We're going to lower onto the back, palms up. To really lower with control, tilt your tailbone under and round the spine down. Nice and controlled. Satyabandha Sarvangasana bridge to build strength and heat in the buttock and lower back for wheel, which will be next. So arms by your side, Mushti Mudra on both hands. Drive the arms down to the ground, feet are as wide as the hip. Drive into your heel, lift your hip up nice and high. Tuck the shoulders underneath the back, squeezing them alongside the spine. Squeeze the buttock, drive through the heel, lift your hip up nice and high. And there's lots of ways that you can intensify this shape. You can come up onto the toes. You can interlace your fingers behind your back, squeezing the palms together. Drive the pinkies down and lift higher. Close your eyes here and connect with all of the muscles in the lower back and the buttock. These are the muscles that are going to do the bulk of the work as we move into wheel. Go ahead and release. Round down one vertebrae at a time, nice and easy with control. When your tailbone reaches the ground, draw your knees in towards your chest, grab your shins. Just pull the knees in and lift the tailbone from the ground slightly, stretch the back. Flex your feet. Now grab for your ankles and pull them in close to your buttock, wider than your hips. We're going to set up for wheel. Now, if you don't want to do wheel, you don't have to. You can do bridge that we just did and continue to work those muscles. If you're doing wheel, feet are wider than your hip, so you have a good foundation. And you want your palms wider than your shoulders. Your fingers point towards your shoulder. Really strong into the palm. Now drive into your heel, lift the hips, squeeze the buttock, and when you're ready, drive into the palm. Either come into the top of the head, continuing to squeeze through the buttock and the heel, or you can press all the way up into the wheel shape. Notice that we want the power to come through the buttock and the heel, the back of the body. So if your feet are drifting forward, that means you're driving through the toe, using the shin and the quad. It's not as much power. Squeeze through the buttock and the heel. Drive the hip bone up to the sky for power. I wish I was there with you to help you if you needed it, but I know you're doing great. We're going to hold for 2 more breaths. To come out of the shape,
Tuck your chin to your chest and lower down onto your shoulders. And then round your spine down. I always come up on my toes because it just lets me round my spine down one vertebra at a time, which just feels like a nice little massage. We're gonna come into a shoulder stand. So shoulder stand is an inversion, and then it also builds, gets your body really fired up. So then we'll soften into plow, which is a beautiful stretch. It's a beautiful forward bend for the spine. So for shoulder stand, you can modify by coming into a legs at the wall shape. So squeezing the heels together, pointing through the toes, making sure that the spine is in contact with the ground. See how my spine is completely in contact with the ground. My legs are parallel. Your whole body will start burning and shaking, and it feels so good. So otherwise, coming into a shoulder stand, knees come in towards your chest. You can put your palms at your lower back and wiggle your shoulders in along your spine. Get all set up, fingers pointing towards the sky, and then drive your legs up. We're trying to get the legs nice and vertical. Squeeze the buttock. If you're nice and vertical and you'd like, you can release your hands. Squeeze the buttock. Feel your upper abdominis. That's where the power is coming from, is your upper ab. We're slowly going to lower into Halasana, plow pose. So lowering the toes down overhead. So if your toes will touch the ground, that's great, but it doesn't matter if they don't. You might have tight shoulder that keeps you from letting your legs go down in the shape. That's fine. Just melt into the shape and know that this is not a strengthening shape. This is to get a deep forward bend in your spine, so you want to melt into it. You can intensify this shape coming into an earlock pose, so bending through the knees, putting the shins to the ground. Go ahead and slowly make our way out of the shape. Come back into a shoulder stand. So strong legs, strong core. Keep your legs nice and straight. When you get to your shoulder stand, slowly start lowering one vertebrae at a time. Keep your legs straight. Pin your heels together. Use your core. Don't flop down, don't roll down, use control. When your tailbone reaches the ground, slowly lower straight legs. Bring your heels to the ground at the same time and keep your entire spine in contact with the mat. Reach your arms overhead. Wiggle your fingers and toes and shake out your legs. Bring your knees into your chest. Roll 3 times, soft or playful. Nice and easy, massage the spine. On the 3rd time, come to seating. We'll do Ardha Chandrasana, half Lord of the Fish, for a lovely spinal twist. So take your left leg and put the foot over to your right hip. Right leg is up and over the left. Notice how my hips are in the ground. We need the hips to be down for stability. If you have this double bind and your hips are going like this, straighten your bottom leg. See, then it gets the hips down. All that matters is the twist. Put your right hand behind you and close to the body. So your kickstand for a long spine. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, twist. Put the upper arm bone midway through the thigh. And then drive the arm over to the left as you pull your left shoulder forward. Right shoulder pulls back. Gaze straight back over your right shoulder. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, continue to twist. Close your eyes and gaze straight back over the shoulder. Relax your face. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, twist a little deeper. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly unwind. Soft and easy. Find the other side. So right leg, foot comes to the hip. Left leg is up and over. Left hand to the base of the spine. Reach your right arm up. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, twist. Upper arm bone here comes midway through the thigh. That gives you a better torque for the shape. Driving that knee over to the right and pulling the right shoulder forward, left shoulder pulls back. Keep the back arm in close to the body here so that you have a good kickstand to give you leverage for the twist. Take an inhale here for length. Exhale for depth. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly unwind. Soft and easy, take your time. Bring your feet to the ground and shift your hips forward. Reach your arms out in front of you, palms up. Slowly lower down onto your back. Lengthen out through your legs. Heels come to touch. Feet fall to the side. Arms alongside your body, palms up. Melt into Savasana.
Slowly bring your awareness into your body. Start wiggling your fingers and toes. Bring your left hand to your belly and your right hand to your heart. Bring your awareness to the gentle rhythm of your heart. Now bring your awareness to the gentle rise and fall of your breath. Give thanks for yourself as you are right now in this moment. When you're ready, bend through your knees. And with as little effort as possible, guide yourself up through center. Bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes. Through compassion, you will find that all human beings are just like you. Compassion begins with the self. Hold yourself with reverence, compassion, and love, and let these fill your essence. And in so doing, they will permeate out to everyone you come into contact with, and you'll make the world a better place. Thank you all so much for sharing your practice with me. I wish you all a beautifully blessed day. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me. Hopefully everything worked out. Your body feels good, and